This is the Brewer and the Baker, a baseball card podcast, where two collectors share their journey through the hobby.
Get up!
Here are your hosts, Mitch and Dan.
Yeah!
Hey, Mitch.
Hey. So, hi, I'm Mitch. I'm the brewer.
I'm Dan. I'm the baker.
And this is our card podcast.
This is our show.
So,
first things first, since this is the first episode, I don't think we're going to do much of like hard-hitting card content today. We'll do a little bit. There's a Bowman Mega Box in front of us after all.
Yeah, got to get into that sucker.
This is more of a show syllabus. So, class, why don't you take your seats, pull out your pencils, get your pens out.
It's all Chromebooks now.
Oh, sorry. Pull out your Chromebooks, get your take your headphones out of your ears. Well, no, actually leave them in because it's a podcast.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're just going to do a little bit of an overview of what this show is about, what we're about, a little bit of card content at the end.
Yep.
We actually do already have socials and ways to get a hold of us.
Yeah.
If you want to get a hold of us, see what we're doing. Our Instagram is BrewerBakerPodcast. And our Gmail account, if you want to email us something for whatever reason, is brewerbakerpodcast@gmail.com.
Super easy.
Super easy to remember.
Pretty straightforward. I mean, remember the name of the show, remember everything else. It's pretty easy.
Forget about the little words. It's just the main ones that are important. So, overview of the show about what we're going to do. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the intro covers the macro, the 30,000-foot view of this is kind of our journey through collecting. The two of us, our journey through collecting, just learning. I'll just start out. I'm pretty novice to it. I collected pretty early on in my life, as everybody kind of our ages did, in the junk wax era of the 80s into the 90s.
Love that 93 Upper Deck, baby.
Yeah. Oh. All that 89 Don Russ. Kind of fell out of it myself. Not necessarily out of any malicious intent of falling out of it. Just life happened and wasn't my thing. And
it wasn't cool anymore.
Right.
Because we're all teenagers at one point and fall victim to that kind of BS.
Right. It's not the cool thing. What, you still collect baseball cards, you 3-year-old? How dare you? No, I personally just got back into it late 23.
It's about 18 months for you, right?
About 18 months, yeah. And I had actually asked, so my wife's father left her a bunch of, had a whole bunch of cards that they ended up selling in bulk because they didn't have time to process or go through any of it, and then they kept one Rubbermaid tote of his core collection, the things that he kept climate controlled and everything as well conditioned as possible, and we carried that through a couple moves, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to finally pull that out and see what's in it. I opened it up and realized I have no idea what I'm looking at. So I called Dan, and knowing he's been in it for a little bit.
Yeah, so much like Mitch, I also kind of fell off, high school-ish. I hopped back on board a lot, not long after high school. It was about 2006. I heard a commercial on the local sports radio station for a local card shop. And I thought, I think I want to do this again. I was in college. I had no money. And it was a lot cheaper to collect back then, but still, I had no money. The shop at the time was called Sports Center Cards and Collectibles. It was run by Rick. His last name is Polish, and I can't pronounce it.
How many consonants are in a row?
All of them. His last name's about a foot long in 12-point font.
$5 foot.
Yeah.
Sorry. Subway.
So that's when I got back into the hobby. We can go into, because I'll probably talk about the set that actually kind of brought me back in full steam and all that. But My first packs after getting back into the hobby was 2006 Fleer Ultra, which I kind of call, Fleer or Upper Deck's version of Top Stadium Club. It's full bleed photos. Photographs are supposed to be really good. They've got a whole series of iconic inserts and things like that. So I really wish Upper Deck would come back. Anyway, so yeah, I've not stopped collecting again since 2006. Unfortunately, there was a stint at a hospital that required me to get rid of most everything that I had up until from 2006, basically. So I had a kind of a reset in the hobby, but my experiences didn't leave me, obviously.
Right.
So I'm not going to say I'm the be all end all, but I feel like I'm pretty knowledgeable about cards, specifically baseball, but some other sports as well. So
And non-sports.
And non-sports, some non-sports. I don't go deep. There's no TCG on
That's fair.
on my end.
I might have a little bit more TCG than you do, but
If you have any, you have more than I do.
okay. There we go. We gave out Pokemon the last 2 years for Halloween. So
Oh, okay.
I went over better than candy.
I'm sure it did. That actually doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. Choice of gummy candy or fruity candy, chocolate. Or this year we gave out NBA hoops.
The Halloween stuff?
The Halloween stuff.
Yeah, that was cool.
And then also gave out Pokemon Trick or Trade.
That was a really good idea from Panini and Wizards of the Coast, I think, does. I don't think, no, they don't do it. Wizards doesn't do.
I don't know who does it anymore. But
Pokemon.
Yeah.
Game Freak. That was a good idea by them.
Yeah, they're little 4 or 5 card packs. Nothing crazy, but just enough that we were out of that before we were out of can. I mean, we normally sit in the driveway and have a little bit of a fire and drink in the driveway while we do it. And all the kids, we just started eating the candy because the candy wasn't going anywhere. The cards were going. So, yeah, getting them all excited. And we decided to go this year with the NBA hoops just for something different than just Pokemon. And that went just as fast. Just, kids are excited about it. It's something that they can feel good about, special about. And
the idea for the podcast, getting back on a track.
whoops.
It's okay. No big deal. The idea for the podcast was mine. I have been thinking about doing a podcast for 10 years. I swear to God. I've been thinking about doing something like this for about 10 years. I've always wanted to do it. I even have asked for USB microphones for Christmas, within the last 10 years.
All right.
I didn't get any, but I still asked for them because I wanted to do something like this. Had no idea what I was doing, but I knew I wanted to do it. I took some radio classes in college. I have some idea, but I didn't want to do anything alone, and I didn't know anybody locally who collected, at least not well enough, to invite them to do something like this. Until you gave me a call to look at your father-in-law's old stuff. And then a month later, you're like, I kind of like this now.
Yeah, that bug caught real quick.
Sorry,
yeah.
sorry, Mitch's wife, which is Sam, by the way. Say hi, Sam. Hi. I don't know if you can hear that or not. Maybe you can.
Yeah. But yeah, she, her dad leaving that stuff really, it sat and sat and sat, and he had some really nice stuff in there. And for me, what really got me back into it was the organizing, the researching. There's so many more resources out there now than just the Beckett guide anymore. I mean, don't get me wrong, I remember all the Becketts and looking up the new prices and all that, but
as much as I miss getting Beckett's monthly, I'm glad that we moved away from it.
Yeah. I still use Beckett's website for looking up info all the time, but
yeah, they could really use some better writers. I've thought about writing an article and then sending it in. This is how you write.
That's fair. I don't think I've picked up one of the magazines since, well, can't say that. I've picked one up, not opened one since probably about 93. So
I think the last one I bought was 5 years ago.
That's fair.
just because I was like, let's see what this is about. And I opened it up. I was like, this sucks. It absolutely sucks. The idea of the show, as Mitch said, the contrast and experience between our collecting experience, for lack of a better term, because I've messed up that sentence, really intrigued me as a good way to pitch a podcast. I think it's interesting. I'm always able to learn something. I'd like to be able to extend a helping hand to you, Mitch, and hell, you've already done that for me with Chasing Majors and that website.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. Chasing Majors, by the way, is an amazing website if you want a good mathematical breakdown of like cards and print runs and things. Major sets, they don't do everything, but most of the major releases by Panini and Topps are going to be covered by Chasing Majors. So that is an amazing resource if you want a good idea for
approximate print runs. From my understanding, everything is based off of the published odds that are out there. Since it's odds, you can then go through and do the math and reverse engineer it and actually see what sort of total print run.
Yeah, if Topps tells you how many cases they made of a certain product, you'll be able to figure out what basically the odds are for cards with the information that they give you.
Right. If there's a 350 card checklist and there's one of ones and it's this many packs and packs come in so many packs per format, yeah, you can then reverse engineer that or do the math backwards and figure it out.
So that kind of juxtaposition between our two levels of experience intrigued me. I've always wanted to do a podcast, and I have known Mitch for, what was it, 2006, right? 2006 or 7?
Fall of 2005. I think it's fall of 2005.
5, right. So 20 years now.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
19 and some change, but yeah.
So,
thanks.
Yeah, sorry about that. So that's that was the idea for the show. I thought it would be interesting. I've always wanted to do one, and here we are. I spent more money on this than I wanted to. So has Mitch.
Yes.
But it's still relatively inexpensive, honestly. Format for the show. Like, what did we, let's see. If we're going to throw out like a general format, we're going to do the open, we're going to do a hobby update, we're going to do a rundown of what the show's going to be about, kind of the main topic. We were planning on doing, 30 to 45-minute episodes, kind of in that range?
Yeah, generally in that range. Not
try to be on the lower end of that, but 30 to 45 minutes as a generality.
Yeah.
Okay. That was the plan. So yeah, there'll be one main topic per show. Going to do it semi-weekly, so once every other week to begin with. If we decide that there's enough topics, we might do it weekly, but right now, probably just semi-weekly.
Yeah. I know, card releases, set releases aren't, they're not every day. They're not every week even. Not saying it has to be based strictly around what's coming out, what's going on.
No.
But
we'll probably hit the big releases, whatever you want to define that as. We may skip mostly Panini stuff for sure. I'm not interested in that anymore, not without the modern players.
Other than Stars and Stripes.
Yeah, other than Stars and Stripes. I do love Stars and Stripes. Yeah, I used to be a huge collector of Donruss Optic baseball, but when they lost the ability to print current players, I lost interest in the set altogether, which means I don't care about Cornerstone or Chronicles or Donruss or any of that anymore.
Yeah.
Immaculate. I just don't care.
Yeah. I mean, part of it, besides our growth in the hobby and as collectors, I think part of it is as well deepening the love specifically for baseball, for the sport of baseball. Being able to chase a player, follow their career, not necessarily live and die by what they do every at bat, but still being able to see that and really kind of have that tangible connection to the game versus just a piece of cardboard.
I still live and die by Salviat bats. I'm not going to lie.
I think the time is limited, but the guy is fantastic. He's had a fantastic career.
He has. So I think that's, so yeah, we plan on doing things we've talked about doing during the show. We'll open. Oh, and to close the show, we may open packs. We have some other ideas.
Some other fun little things that may or may not put into action, may or may not actually be as fun as we think they are. This isn't just educational. It's not just two old guys BSing back and forth. It's, I would like to, as a novice myself, would like to give some folks kind of that confidence to be a novice and get into collecting. It's not just strictly about chasing the biggest things, or it's about the love of the game, love of almost the nostalgia of it, that just feeling like a kid again. There's not a wrong way to do it.
I think that will be a running theme throughout all of our shows, is that there is no wrong way to collect.
A couple other little things about us outside of format, just generally speaking. You want to go over who you personally PC your teams? Or?
Oh, yeah. So I'm a Royals guy. So yeah, I do a lot of Royal stuff. I've got a nice small little pile of really good Salvador Perez stuff. I've got a small nice little pile of Bobby Witt. A lot of the 2015 major players from when they won their World Series. Mike Moustakas, Eric Hosmer, Alex Gordon, Alcides Escobar, Wade Davis,
yeah.
Those type of names. Some George Brett, some Bo Jackson. Yeah, like I said, a lot of Royals. I do. So I did actually play with somebody in Little League who ended up being drafted and actually playing in the NFL. Oh my Lord. In Major League Baseball. You may or may not remember Pat Venditti.
Yeah.
The ambidextrous, or as that one newspaper article called him, the amphibious pitcher. I actually played baseball with him at in the local parochial athletic leagues in 7th and 8th grade. So I have a nice small collection of his autograph cards as well. Always kind of on the lookout, not constantly buying because there wasn't a whole lot of his stuff made, but if I find something nice and it's reasonably priced, I'll certainly pick it up if I see it.
Does he sign ambidextrously?
I have seen baseballs that have both signatures.
Okay.
So on both sweet spots, on both sweet spots.
Yeah.
He writes right-handed.
Okay.
He does not write left-handed. You can tell by his signatures.
Okay.
I don't have one of those, but I have seen it.
That's pretty fun. I thought it was just joking there.
No, he has done that. I do have since I have multiple cards of his from different sets. I do have pictures of him pitching, one with one arm, one with the other. So it has one is right-handed, one is left-handed. So yeah, that's fun. He didn't make. I mean, he played for about 5 or 6 years in the majors. Drafted by the Yankees. Called up. It was traded eventually to the A's. Was called up by the A's. Played there for a while. Kind of went back and forth between the minors and the majors. Was traded to the Jays. Played 1 or 2 games for the Jays. Was traded to the Rays. Might have been called up for 1 or 2 games for the Rays. He was up and down. But yeah, that's him. And I always like pulling big name players.
Yeah.
Oh, Hall of Fame autographs. I do Hall of Fame autographs. That's kind of the main focus.
Yeah, cool.
You? What about you?
Yeah, growing up here, growing up in Omaha, Royals have always kind of been with a minor league team in town. We always have had that kind of connection to the Royals. So Royal stuff generally, I've got a binder of ton of base cards of every single player I pull from every single set, whether they're, great or not. Still grab one of the Royals every single time, or put them into the said binder. Outside of that, Bobby, just because he's exciting to watch, exciting to follow. Just generally a real super cool, guy. Just personally, I mean, I don't know him personally, but following through social media, following through on-field stuff, really kind of feels like the glue guy right now. I mean, Salvi's there.
I don't think you can undersell what Vinny Pasquantino does for that clubhouse.
Yeah, I mean, if you follow the Royals on Instagram, a lot of the videos of who would be the best SNL host. Yeah, Vinny was the one that a lot of people said.
He's a natural leader. He may not be the best player on the team, but he's a leader.
Yeah. But outside of that, because of starting recollecting, I guess, with Sam's dad's stuff. Yeah, he was a huge Orioles fan, so with that, kind of got into the Orioles as well. Feels a little weird having two AL teams, so not as hot on them, but still, I mean, that 23 class was just.
It's incredible, wasn't it?
Was incredible, and they still are pulling guys up. Their farm system still pretty loaded, and there's a lot of bright futures there. At least what it seems like. There's a lot of bright futures. Used to be a Rockies fan. That kind of faded. I mean, I went to.
Well, the Rockies are making it really hard to be a Rockies fan.
Ownership and
yeah,
management and everything is making it tough. I mean, I went to opening day in 2005 out there.
I've never been to an opening day game of any kind.
Oh, it was fun. We were out there for spring break, and my great uncle's like, hey, yeah, you want to go catch a game? Sure. So we went to King Soopers, got tickets. We rode the train down, or the light rail down, and he was down in Littleton, rode it up to the ballpark, and there we were. Street, big old, everything's blocked off on the streets, had all the fan fest stuff, and so it was really fun. And that really kind of cemented that for a while, and then it really, really fell off after a bit. From there, it kind of picked up, and with regional broadcasts kind of dying off and everything becoming streaming now, wanted to get a team that I might be able to actually watch a game that's not going to be blacked out or have to pay extra for. So kind of got onto the Giants here recently. So with that, then Lee's
kind of the no-name team, aren't they?
A lot of people overlook them, but they've been solid the last couple of years.
It's hard not to blame them for overlooking because you got big names on Padres, big names in LA, and you got a few big names in Arizona. But the Giants are holding their own, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's the group at death, I guess. I mean, for a soccer term in there, the group at death is the NL West there, and it's just kind of not finding a middling team because they're middling in one of the best, divisions, so it's kind of.
Right.
Anyways, so, yeah, outside of that, Lee has kind of been my guy on that team that I've been following for the last, 24 was his rookie year, but I also love Korean and Japanese players following overseas prospects and stuff of that nature.
Okay. So what would you like to see the show do for you?
I think you've already touched on it a little bit, but just always learning. There's always something new, always something to learn. There's little minute things that may go overlooked. I feel that a lot of the current, depends on the community, but I feel like there's a lot of folks that are just focused on hits.
Sure.
Money. I mean,
it's what gets the most social media hits and things like that.
Right. And I mean, I'm not saying
I'm certainly going to be posting kind of some of that stuff
right.
on the Instagram.
I'm not immune to that. I want to constantly be learning and hopefully having that helping deepen my love of the game and get back into sports a little bit more for the love of the game versus living and dying by a huge college hockey fan and a loss on a Friday ruining a weekend. I don't want that. I don't want that anymore. That's not what it's about. Got to be able to, forget, have a short-term memory. Every game's a new game. But outside of that, like learning, and then I really, want to help build a community that is more accepting of that. Collect the way you want to collect. Collect the things that make you happy, the things that bring you joy. Again, the social media hits and everything of that nature are awesome to view. Watching people be joyous. It's a great thing seeing people be happy,
especially when it's organic and real and not the not the fakey. I like breakers, but I like a certain kind of breaker, and I don't like the breakers that yell because they pull a autograph. They just because it's an autograph.
A purple to $9.99 auto and of a reliever that doesn't. He gets called up once a year when there's injuries or whatever.
Right.
But at the same time, just making sure that it's building that community of having fun with it. Be happy with what you are happy with. Because
there is no wrong way to collect.
Yes.
So what I'd like to get out of the show, as Mitch said, I'm still, like I said, I'm still learning. Mitch has already shown me some things some tools to use that I didn't already know. I would like to use my position as someone who's really experienced to teach as well, to extend that helping hand. So I honestly, I just want to talk about cards. That's really
fair.
what I do.
That's
so
fair.
There's not a whole lot more than that. Nothing really holistic about it. I just want to talk about cards.
Shiny.
Yeah, I like shiny. I will beat the drum of inserts. Something that I think baseball card collectors have really overlooked over the last 15 or so years. So I will beat that drum, and probably to my detriment, hopefully to my detriment, so that those things become more expensive on the secondary market. Because I pulled some incredible inserts and been disappointed when I tried to move them and find out just how much people don't care about them. I will be beating that drum.
There's more art. There's more, thought that. Don't get me wrong. There's definitely some inserts where there's zero thought put into it. But
if you find that gem, and they're out there, there's plenty of them.
I love the Bowman Spotlight. Like that is an insert to me that does not get enough love. I just got a Jackson Holiday 24 Bowman Spotlight for $249.
It's ridiculous.
Wow. Case hit level of insert and of a big name rookie player for 24, and it was under $5.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I am for me that set is Instavision out of Top Stadium Club. They did not print it in last year's edition of Stadium Club. They stopped it. I think Instavision has the opportunity to be one of those inserts that will be hotly sought after in the future. A nostalgic insert, at least it should be, in my opinion. I'm going to beat that drum until I die. So yeah, that's kind of one of my personal things.
I'm just on Chasing Majors just to try and see what a spotlight, like how many, what the print run is, that sort of thing.
So, one other thing. Mitch mentioned this in passing. We are in Omaha. I believe that actually does play an important part into how we collect and what we do. We don't have ready, immediate access to pro sports in this town. Kansas City's about 3.5 hours away. Minnesota's a little bit longer than that. Chicago and Denver are both 8 hours in either direction from here. So it's not hard to get into a major league town, a pro sports town, but it's not It's also not just right up the road here. But what we do have is we do have the AAA affiliate of the Kansas City Royals and the Storm Chasers. And we have an important yearly event. It's been going on for this year will be its 75th anniversary, the College World Series. By the way, if you hear us refer to something as the CWS 95% of the time, we are not talking about the Chicago White Sox. We're talking about the College World Series. It is a big deal. To have an event by the NCAA in one spot for 75 years is absolutely unheard of. The only place that this happens is here in Omaha. Because of that, it has built a incredible fan base here in this town. We have fostered folks from all over the country coming up from their particular university. LSU specifically comes to mind. Those folks come into town if their team is here or not.
Yep. I mean, it's a yearly pilgrimage for them. For them. It is a
2-week party here in town. You either love it or you hate it, and you avoid downtown.
Yeah. I mean, we make plans every year to go down and just Sam and I's favorite spot is Slow Down, right across from the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Air conditionings, clean bathrooms, decent beer selection, air conditioning, and gigantic projection screen, so you can watch all the games, but you can still be in the atmosphere. It's generally until the evening, not super crowded. That's just our own.
Sure.
But
yeah, Mattress Factory's right down there. They've got the Fan Fest area.
Yeah.
It's an incredible experience. I personally have seen, I don't know, I'd have to actually think about this, but I've probably seen 5 national championships crowned in person. Been to 5 national championship games off the top of my head. Cal State Fullerton, Coastal Carolina is the most recent one that I saw. Yeah, I don't know. Virginia, I think I saw once. Yeah, I've seen at least 3, maybe up to 5. I'd have to really think about it. So I have seen Division I national championship games, and it's because I live in Omaha.
Yep.
It's a big deal.
And they're not $1,000 tickets.
And they're not $1,000 tickets.
Yeah, I would say since it moved to now Charles Schwab, not TD, TD Ameritrade, I think I missed 20, and maybe last year. Outside of that, I think I've been to every single actual final national championship game. Exactly as you said it, just because we have access to it.
Sure.
And we can get to it. I mean, yes, tickets obviously do go up depending on the team. LSU, Texas, Tennessee.
Sure.
Generally, prices start to go up. College baseball is another one of, because of that, another one of our passions. I think it feels safe speaking to that, in a general sense for the both of us.
Sure. So because we have AAA and the College World Series, I think that there is a stronger connection to prospecting for us. Mitch really loves prospecting, and I like it. I don't quite, not quite to the level that I think Mitch does, but I do like opening prospect cards.
Yeah.
So that that will be a decent sized chunk of the show. It won't be everything. It certainly won't be everything.
Yeah, it'll be everything.
It'll be a decent sized part of the show.
Just overall a numbers guy as it is anyways. So
Mr. Accountant.
part of that is part of prospecting is like looking at the stats, watching them progress. There are guys that are in the majors that put up less numbers for more money. Looking at somebody on the Mets right now.
That sucks. I like him.
Just because they're sitting on a bag of cash doesn't mean that they can stop trying.
Sure.
These guys are out there living and dying and breathing the game. Like, the game is their life. And yeah, for some of them, they may just peak in AA, but there's still that desire that they got to play a game to make money for at least some period of time.
Mm-hmm.
That just gives me such joy and passion to it. And that's also what kind of drew me to 2020 drew me to Korea and then subsequently Japan and stuff of that nature. Watching, I mean, there's 17-year-old kids in Korea that are just monsters. And just seeing how well kids are playing the game just because, I just find it fascinating.
Sure. Speaking of prospecting,
Some Bowman.
You know what we have in front of us? We have a Bowman Mega Box.
See if this comes through.
Sorry. So as Mitch takes the scissors to the Bowman box, I think that's a pretty decent overview of the show. We kind of rambled a couple times here and there. That's all right. That's probably going to happen. Yeah, one other thing I think we were planning on doing, and we'll see. And I'm kind of like the idea. We'll try to do like a live show at a card show. There's one that happens every month out here, and I'd like to buy a table, not every month, but because that would be half of our shows. But
right.
Yeah, once every 3 months or something like that, 3 or 4 months, quarterly, something like that.
Just set up and
talk to collectors, find out what they're buying.
So there's in a Bowman
You
Mega there
you
are.
want to do it that?
Sure. Yeah, we'll do it that way. There are 4 standard 15, 10 card packs, and then 2 5-card Mega Box exclusive packs.
Now, in these Mega Boxes, back in the day, before this year, the regular normal Bowman packs were specific, just base. You could only get base, no inserts. Oh, I forgot the ASMR stuff. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, that's the stuff. This year, they changed things up a little bit. You can pull the old red rookie badge cards out of this. I've also heard you can pull foil fractors out of these as well. I've not seen that, but I've heard that.
So actually, speaking of red rookie badges, I have actually
What'd you get?
one.
Oh, a Roki Sasaki. That is promising.
Very. Last I checked, his odds were not the highest for Rookie of the Year.
Nothing exciting in the first regular normal.
No.
Oh yeah, it's the good stuff.
But
Base Shohei, Job, Shota, Charlie Condon. That's a good one.
there you go. Obviously, it's a first. Is it first Chrome or first?
Just the paper. I'm going through Gary Gill Hill, not Glary Glen Hill, Glen Hill. Salvi Base, and a Luis Angel Acuna. Speaking of, I opened up a blaster myself today, and I pulled a blue paper Luis Angel Acuna autograph, numbered 150 out of 150.
Bookend auto.
Bookend auto. Those are stickers because they're paper.
Color match?
Blue, yeah, because
so
they're Mets.
Color match, yeah.
Yeah. All right, we got the Mega Box pack. Yeah. All right, we have.
These are all Chrome. They've got that fun little design to them.
Ooh, buddy, you got yourself a parallel.
Oh, nice.
Johnny Level, E. Smith Pineda, Jack Kaggs,
There we go.
Franklin Arias, and a non-first Bowman, Travis Bazzana, which is a good name, just not a first Bowman.
Yeah. That would come in draft last year, but frickin' $450 20 card box. No, kidding. Got Braden Montgomery. Lucas Ramirez. Yeah, Ramirez. Thought I was reading that wrong. Julio. Good old-fashioned Julio
J-Rod.
Rodriguez.
Yeah.
A Rookie of the Year die cut.
Yeah, they have one of those in every box, I think.
Nick York.
Okay.
And I'm going to butcher that name. Josue Brasino, maybe, for Detroit.
They should really put a pronunciation on the back of the cards.
So I don't know.
Where's he from?
He is from Venezuela.
Okay.
Venezuela.
Venezuela.
Good old Venezuela down there. something I love about at least with the prospects, they give a short resume, skills, that sort of thing, but then up close, they always kind of give more of a fun facts section of them. Hails from same Venezuelan hometown as iconic slugger Miggy.
Oh, hey.
Miguel Cabrera.
That means he's going to be another one.
At 19, was 2 years younger than the average Florida State League player in 2024. Signed as an international free agent in 22. So definitely, promising, at least. Doesn't mean that's going to be my new guy.
No. All right.
Yeah.
I think that's a show.
I feel like that's pretty darn good.
That's a show.
Should probably start. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think that's a pretty decent breakdown. There'll be other stuff. There'll be things. But this was just an introduction. So there'll be more hard-hitting baseball stuff in the future.
Deeper
Please be on the
dives
lookout. Every other week, we'll put out a new episode. Give us a holler on Instagram at BrewerBakerPodcast, and if you want to do something long form, I don't know, something on email, send us a file, pictures, something, I don't know. Email address is brewerbakerpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah.
I think we're going to work on a Blue Sky account too.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good.
Haven't got that one yet, but I'm thinking about doing that too.
Yeah. I'm not as familiar with it. Just
It's Twitter, but not.
okay.
So,
Thank you for listening. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm Mitch. I'm the brewer.
I'm Dan. I'm the baker. Have a good rest of your day.
Yeah. Have a good day.
That was the Brewer and the Baker, a baseball card podcast. Thanks for listening, and be excellent to each other.